in the bin. Thank you for that warm welcome, Mr. Toastmaster. He has introduced me so well that now I can simply return to my seat and take comfort in the fact that I don't have to stand out there in discomfort. Or I could choose to come back here and take my place, comforted by the fact that I'm surrounded by friends. I could make an effort to speak up and to engage all of you in a way that gives my fellow Toastmasters and distinguished guests no option but to accept that this is where I belong. Last week, I wrote a highly elaborate speech where I used life insurance as a metaphor to describe the way in which I have made some of my toughest life decisions. And by Friday, I had memorized it. But then came Saturday. And just before I buried my face in books for the next 2 days, I thought to myself, maybe I should practice this thing and time myself and see how I go. 10 minutes later, I realized that it was far too long. And just like that, my beautiful, heartfelt icebreaker speech became nothing more than another soulless MBA assignment where half of my good work ended up in the bin, punished for exceeding a merciless word count. The first thing to go was my opening joke. I was going to come up here full of enthusiasm and pretend to be a multi-level marketing rep who was using the Toastmasters platform to grow my referral network. I was even going to bring some of my wife's beauty products to pass around the room and really make you believe that I was here to sell them. It was going to be brilliant. But I don't have time for gimmicks. So that part of the speech ended up in the bin. The next part of my speech was the hook. After everyone had taken the bait, I would reel you back in. But this time I would tell you that the real reason I was here was to sell you life insurance. Now, it was a big tongue-in-cheek, but this is when the speech was actually going to start to get serious. I was going to lead with an intriguing question, a comment about how we are shaped by the choices we make, and then I would follow it up throughout the rest of my speech with insights and thoughtful remarks. But guess what? I don't have time for that either. So the hook ended up in the bin. The third and final part of my speech, to be offered in sacrifice to the gods of limitation, was my personal story. This is a part where I would endear myself to you by naming some of my personal demons and letting you know how life insurance gave me the courage to face them. My metaphor was that life insurance represented the merger between experience and choice, the combination of which gave us the determination to be drivers in life and not just mere passengers driven by circumstance. I said that most people really don't have 10 years of experience in anything, but rather 1 year of meaningless experience repeated 10 times. I quoted Hamlet and Winston Churchill to really drive my point home. I then encouraged our guests to seek out experiences outside of your comfort zone, like joining Toastmasters and standing right here. Because at least then, that experience and that discomfort would be your choice. And when you merge experience with choice, you get the insurance that that gives you. The insurance that you can get back up, even if you trip along the way. It was a really good metaphor. But by the time I was done redacting my whole speech, it had lost all meaning. It didn't make any sense. So that whole thing ended up in the bin. And that is what we do to our lives when we take away the things that matter. Never stepping outside of our comfort zone. So take my offer and pick up this very special kind of life insurance. And make sure you sign up for the experience package with Choice Extras. I guarantee you that it will give you the courage to take more chances, to live a life worth insuring, the type of life that won't end up in the bin. Mr. Toastmaster.